So can Bong Joon Ho recapture that Parasite magic in a sci-fi satire? Let's talk about Mickey 17. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. I'm here to talk to you about Mickey 17, which comes at theaters on March 7th, 2025. It is a new movie from Bong Joon Ho. You might know him from a small film called Parasite. That was a fantastic thriller movie that did touch on some topics about modern life. Is Mickey 17 gonna do the same? Is it worth your time? Well, my hot take is I think you should watch later. I think it's an interesting concept and has a great atmosphere, really good effects, and a wonderful cast, but the story is a little bit too long, a little bit too slow for my liking. I didn't love this as much as I expected to. I thought I was gonna be very excited about this. I love Robert Pattinson. I love Steve Yeun. I love Toni Collette. I love Mark Ruffalo. I love a lot of the people in this film. I just did not love this film. So I think you should watch it eventually. Just wait for it to come to streaming or on demand if the price is right. So all that being said, I'm going to tell you about the film, a few things I like, a few things I didn't like, and then really quickly go into a recap. So as you can imagine, there will be spoilers in the recap section. If you don't know what happens in this movie, and you might not, there are some big surprises along the way. I would turn it off when I get to the recap. Before that, though, I'll keep it vague. I'll keep it spoiler free. Let you know when I get to those spoilers. So in Mickey 17, you have Mickey. He volunteers as an expendable, which means they take his brain, they upload it to a computer essentially, and then they're able to 3D print new Mickeys whenever something goes wrong. So he basically volunteers to take on dangerous tasks because they can reprint him and he can keep going. Now this is Mickey 17. He's the 17th Mickey, but this one maybe decides that he doesn't want to stay expendable. Does this work out for him? Does this work out for this entire expedition? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out. So, things I liked about this movie. The first, look, I love the cast. Robert Pattinson, Naomi, Ackie, Steve Yeun, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo. You cannot have a better cast. I love all of them. So I really was hoping I'd love the movie. I didn't love the movie, but I did like their performances. Second thing I loved, kind of, on the same vein, but I thought Robert Pattinson did a fantastic job because he has to play a bunch of very different characters. Sometimes the Mickeys come out a little bit differently. And so he has to play the same character with maybe a little bit of a different shade thrown in there because of how this Mickey's iteration is. And I thought he did a fantastic job. There's some scenes where he has to change characters very quickly, and it is really fun to see. It's almost like different characters entirely. The third thing I love the special effects. It's a sci-fi film. You've got some really interesting kind of technology with the 3D printing aspect of it, like printing a new body. They're in a spaceship. There's, environments that they go to, and it all looks fantastic. It all looks really, really good. Really transports you into this film. And the last thing I love some of the humor. There are some funny moments in this. It is kind of a dark comedy. It has a lot of satire elements, and so there's a lot of moments where you are laughing a lot, and I really appreciate that. In a movie that has like an irreverent tone, it's good when the jokes hit. So, all that being said, things I didn't love as much. The first, it's very slow. This movie is a long movie. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes. The title card doesn't even come on for like 45 minutes. It takes a long time to set up, it takes a long time to get there, and it feels like it. Second thing I didn't love, related, it is long. So, not only is it slow, it is a long movie. Like I said, 2 hours and 17 minutes feels very long. It doesn't feel like it needs to take all of that time. It feels like it could have been tightened up a little bit. It feels like it could have been a little bit shorter. And look, that's not to say that that's a bad thing. Like, that is not inherently a bad thing. Parasite was a long movie. I loved that movie. This is a long movie, but it doesn't keep my interest. It didn't keep my interest enough to really kind of like endure that duration. Third thing I love, one of the reasons it didn't keep my interest, some of the jokes kind of fell flat. I didn't love all the jokes. Like, there were some that were really, really funny, some that just felt, I don't know, obvious, felt like they were trying too hard. It is hit or miss, and that's never a good sign. Like, it is hit or miss, so that means that some of the jokes fell flat, which means this movie felt long, it felt slow, things like that. The last thing I didn't love as much, kind of a tough one to like nail down. I'm gonna say like too obvious satire. Like, this film touches on a lot of different topics: religion, politics, racism, things like that, and it's not subtle. Doesn't mean it has to be subtle, but sometimes it felt like a little bit too on the nose, too like knowing when they were trying to like comment on certain things. I like my humor a little bit more subtle, so maybe that's just a me thing. But for me, that was part of the reason why the jokes fell flat. So look, overall, Mickey 17 comes to theaters on March 7th, 2025. I think you should watch it later. Check it out eventually. Wait for it to come to streaming or on demand. But if you do see it, let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. I would love to hear it. And I'm going to really quickly go into a recap right now. So if you don't know what happens in this movie, I would turn it off now because there will be spoilers. So in Mickey 17, it's set in 2054. It is a world where 3D printing, like replication of humans, is possible. maybe ethically unclear, but it is possible. But one person is going to use it to the fullest. This person named Kenneth Marshall. He is a polarizing political figure. He has a very devout following, and he is going to start a new colony, a new world in space, and he is taking his followers with him and some people that maybe he is going to use this 3D printing human technology on to help establish that world. Now enter two friends, Mickey and Timo. They are on Earth. They take out a bad loan from this person named Darius Black, and they have to flee Earth to avoid getting killed. And so they go on this expedition led by Kenneth Marshall, and Mickey, kind of unsure what to do, doesn't really know, wants to get on this expedition. It's very popular, and so he signs up to be an expendable, which is not a normally is which is not a thing that people normally would want to sign up for, but he doesn't know any better and he wants to get on this. So he signs up. Timo's able to come on, I think, as a pilot. And so Mickey, as an expendable, gets on the ship. And so that then causes Mickey to have some fairly dangerous activities. Some of them are just for scientific research, like Holocaust kind of scientific research. Like they send Mickey outside to see how long the sun's radiation without any protection will like burn his skin off. Things like that. It's not like super gory. There are some like gruesome-ish moments, but they're kind of like dark comedy gruesome. But Mickey starts doing things like that, and luckily they're able to reprint him so he can keep going on. His memories are saved in this, hard drive that is in the shape of a brick. It is actually a brick. I guess they can store data in a brick, which sounds great. I would love to have that in my NAS box, but maybe not yet, not now. Maybe in like 20 years I'll be able to get that. And they're able to 3D print new Mickeys, which is really funny. It's like an old school like inkjet printer when they're doing it. Robert Pattinson, as he's getting printed, is kind of like jostling around. He like moves out of the printer and then gets pulled back in, kind of like how an old inkjet printer would do that. It is a very, very funny process. I really appreciated that little nod, that little piece of humor. But this is how Mickey is going through this journey. Now, early on, he meets someone named Nasha who is like in the security department. She's seems like a pretty badass in the security department, and she for some reason really likes Mickey. They hit it off really well. They hit it off early, and they get started in a relationship. Then she helps Mickey make it through this 4.5 year trip where he has to do some pretty heinous things. Now eventually they get to the planet, and who do they send to make sure the atmosphere is okay? They send Mickey. Mickey goes out, and apparently there is some sort of virus, some sort of pathogen in the atmosphere, which causes Mickey to have a horrible, horrible death. So he dies a few times as they develop a new vaccine, and eventually they give it to him, and he is able to survive. So Mickey saved this entire kind of expedition. He was able to guinea pig this vaccine and let the rest of the people survive. Now, this is now Mickey 17. He has died 17 times, or I guess 16 times. This is the 17th Mickey. So he goes on expeditions with the rest of the crew as they're trying to explore this planet, trying to figure out what's on here, what they can eat. It kind of seems like a little bit of a barren planet, but there are some sort of animals which Mickey finds on an expedition. Now they find these things, they call them creepers. They're kind of like mole, like pill bug combinations. I don't know what you call pill bugs. I think they're called pill bugs. I call them roly polies growing up, but I think they're called pill bugs. But anyways, these creeper things are like mole pill bugs. And during this expedition, everyone runs. One person gets killed in the cave in. Everyone else runs, and Mickey gets kind of captured by these mole pill bugs. And he thinks they're going to eat him. He thinks he's going to die, but they eventually end up saving him. And they pull him out of this cave, get him onto the land, and like see him off. So the people that originally were in that cave in had already been back to the ship. They reported that one of the crew members had died. Mickey was left for dead. They're back. And so when Mickey finally makes it back after these creepers save him, there's another Mickey now, Mickey 18. They already printed him. And this Mickey is a little bit more aggressive. He seems a little bit more of a firecracker. And this is going to cause a problem because as part of the, I guess, rules of having replicant people, if you have two of the same, that causes, I guess, that causes some sort of violation of the rules, and they have to kill both replicants. Basically, Mickey dies if you make too many of them. I guess it's just like a poison pill, essentially. So now that there are two Mickeys, this is a potentially a problem. Now, Nasha finds out about this, and she is actually very excited. She is seems to be very into having two Mickeys so that she can fulfill some of her own desires. That it would require two Mickeys. But before this, before Nasha found out about this, Mickey 18 and Mickey 17 were heading to go talk to Nasha to try to like be the first one to see her. But Mickey 17 got pulled away to a meeting with Marshall, and there it seems like Marshall was testing another weird thing on him. He like sits down to eat. It's supposed to be a congratulatory meal for him and one other crew member. But while he's eating, there's something in the food that causes Mickey to like vomit horribly. It looks like he might be left for dead, but he ends up surviving. So good on Mickey. He was able to kind of like test this new experimental, I think it was like a nerve agent essentially, and he was able to survive. But when he tells Mickey 18 about this, about how he was on his way back and Marshall pulled him aside for this meal, Mickey 18 gets upset about how Marshall is using, him and like all the other Mickeys as guinea pigs. So Mickey 18 decides he's going to kill Marshall. Now Marshall is presenting this big stone that they gathered from the planet that they're on, and he's going to turn this into like a monument. And while he is cutting open the stone, Mickey 18 is about to shoot him, but then a creeper jumps out of the stone. It was like hibernating in the stone, in a little crevice in the stone. So it jumps out and causes a panic. Mickey 18 tries to shoot Marshall still. He just grazes him on the cheek. And then all chaos ensues. Now, in the chaos, another creeper pops up as well. One of the creepers is captured, the other creeper is destroyed by the people, and Mickey 18 is captured as well as Mickey 17 because Mickey 17 came to try to stop him. So now Marshall knows that there are two Mickeys. There is a creeper that is dead, and Marshall's wife, Ylfa, is excited for these creepers because she thinks that she can use them to make food. So Ylfa wants to use them to make sauces. She is obsessed with sauces for some reason. I don't really get the reference, but she really wants to use these creepers for sauces. And so she is hoping to use these new animals in this planet to make more and more extravagant foods. So what Marshall decides to do is send both Mickeys out to go try and gather more of these creepers for food. And they are able to do this because all the creepers have started to gather around this ship. It seems like when they killed one of the creepers, that caused a lot of the creepers, including like the leader creeper, the like queen bee creeper, whatever you want to call it, to show up and surround the ship. So the Mickeys are supposed to be sent out to gather the creepers, to set specifically their tails and bring them back to Ylfa. However, because Mickey 17 was saved by the creepers, because he thinks that they're good, and because the scientists were able to create like a rudimentary translator for him to talk to the creepers, he ends up talking to the creepers and finding out that they just want their captured creeper back, and then they want kind of an eye for an eye because one of them was killed. Someone else has to die in, you know, this expedition, or else the creepers are just going to kill everyone. Apparently, they can like essentially emit a sonic blast that'll make everyone on the ship blow up. So not good for anyone else. Mickey 17 wants to try to stop this, but Marshall sees Mickey talking to the creepers, and he decides to go out and try to take out the head creeper himself, try to like, show his domination, show his power, show his machismo, and end this right now. So Marshall gathers some people. They head out to go try to kill that creeper. And after this, Mickey's able to communicate with Sasha through like a camera that is on him to bring the other creeper out, or else everyone's going to die. Sasha, who was captured and being held by Marshall earlier because she knew about both of the Mickeys, she's able to fight the people off, get the creeper, and get out of there and bring the creeper to Mickey. But this is all dangerous because Marshall is out there heading towards the main creeper. The main creepers, they kind of like use the pack mentality to hide the main creeper. They create like essentially decoys. So Marshall's not sure who to kill. He starts firing rockets in general. Doesn't hit anyone. But this causes all sorts of chaos as Nasha is trying to bring the other creeper to Mickey to stop everything. Eventually, Mickey 18 jumps on the hover ship, the ship that Marshall is on, and fights him. Mickey 17 is able to get the other creeper to the main queen bee creeper, the main creeper. But Mickey 18 knows that the main creeper wants an eye for an eye, wants a death, and he wants to kill Marshall anyways. And the fact that there are two Mickeys is kind of problematic to this world. So he decides to sacrifice himself, blow up this ship with Marshall on it. That's two deaths. So maybe the creepers will be happy. And Mickey 18 then solves the like clone problem. So Mickey 18 does this. Marshall's killed. This causes Ylfa to have like a breakdown. She eventually like goes to a psych ward and kills herself also. So now both of the leadership is gone, and there's like a council that was there before but didn't really have much power. They kind of take over, and when you know it, Nasha is elected onto that council and now kind of runs it as the leader. So she makes some progress, abolishes the clone program, seems to kind of establish a decent colony on this planet, and everything is going well, and Mickey just seems to be happy to be alive. He doesn't want to be expendable anymore. He wants to just live. This Mickey decided he wanted to live after that creeper saved him. He decided that he wanted to live. He didn't want to like just get recycled. This Mickey decided that he wanted to kind of like stick it out, and so now he can. Now that Marshall's dead, Mickey 18's dead, Ylfa's dead, and the creepers are all satisfied. Now Mickey 17 can live on this world with Nasha, and all's well that ends well. But that is Mickey 17. Like I said, I think you should watch it later. Wait for it to come to streaming or on demand. But if you check it out, let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. I'd love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.